Hi there. So good morning. I am in the car driving, and since I will be in the car for the next hour and a half, I oftentimes like to take this opportunity to meditate. And my disclaimer is that I do not close my eyes. I do not recommend meditating while driving or operating a vehicle. But for me, I'm just being real. Like, life gets crazy and busy, and I have to find moments to clear my mind and create some clarity. That does not mean that I am not going to be present and focusing on the road. For me, it just means that I'm going to bring focus to my breath while I am driving. And I find that that is one of the biggest benefits to meditating for me. Slowing down, focusing on my breath, and being present. And so that's what I'm calling meditating this morning. And just to share with you sort of the events of my evening leading up to this morning, as I think it's helpful for others to hear that meditation can be incorporated into your daily routine, no matter what's happening in life. And matter of fact, sometimes it's when things are crazy that it's the best time to really meditate. So I'll start by saying that just a few minutes ago, before I signed on to start this recording, I had somebody tailgating me, and I was pissed. And it was like, get off my ass. So I could feel that anger rising to the surface, and said, okay, I've been up since 2:30 this morning because my daughter's still sick. She woke up throwing up and I couldn't get back to sleep. So I've been reading basically since like 4 o'clock after cleaning everything up. And so to have that kind of stress in the evening, to have not gotten to sleep until 10:30. So, I'm sure many parents, many moms can relate that, when you don't get the sleep that you need, right? And you still have obligations to tend to the next day, like, you got to show up, you got to be there. And like, that's all great, but we can't forget to really take the time to take care of ourselves. And so in the midst of all of that happening, at what point, would I have had time to take care of myself and meditate? It just happens to be, it's the hour and a half drive on my way to work today. So I'm completely okay with this. And before we actually begin our meditation, I just want to share that I am truly grateful that I even recognize the importance of taking care of myself, because my life has not always been like that. And sometimes for me, it takes sort of, hitting rock bottom or the extreme to really recognize what my needs are. And luckily that's changing. And it has been changing in the recent year or so, that I cannot show up for my daughter. I cannot show up for my customers or for my coworkers or for my family. Like, I can't show up in the world the way that I need to if I'm not taking time for myself. And since I already feel slightly on edge because of my lack of sleep, I've already started to have road rage this morning, and it's only 6 o'clock in the morning. So if I continue on this trajectory, the day will not be enjoyable. I won't feel successful, and so this is why I'm really taking the time that I have to bring it back to myself and create a clearing. So this process is really just, I am I'm going to stop talking, and since you can't see me, I'm sort of walking you through this. And during that time, I'm going to be continuing to look at the road, paying attention to my surroundings, but really consciously breathing in and out, and sort of a kind of breath that comes from your gut. So not like when the doctor says breathe in and you lift your shoulders and then you like let it out. Not like from your chest, but from your stomach. And the way that you breathe, I think, can be really important. But start off by just doing whatever feels like natural to you, and over time, you'll find that breath, that pattern that you're really looking for, it just sort of naturally comes from your stomach. So I hope you can all follow along. Okay, so I certainly don't plan on keeping you here for an hour and a half, but just want to share with you what happens for me even in those couple of minutes. First, I have thoughts that go through my mind, so it's not like my mind is completely clear. But what I'm really doing is trying to manage my thoughts. And so I'm not just allowing myself to freely think about all of the things that I have to do today. I'm not thinking about the multitude of things that typically race through my mind. Instead, I'm allowing my mind, I'm sort of encouraging my mind to keep some sort of like clearness. And when a thought pops in, then I'm just like letting it like drift away. And so sometimes I'm doing that multiple times throughout those couple of minutes. But all of that's really natural. Like that is all a part of meditation, no matter if you're in the car or not. The other thing is that I was really focusing on the breath, as I mentioned, which I felt like it brought some sort of like calmness to my body, to my mind. And I recognized that like it must be working because there was a car that actually cut me off, and it's raining out, or at least there's like a drizzle, so the roads may have a slight slickness to it. And in other circumstances, that may make me upset. But because I'm in the mindset that I'm in, I was able to really just kind of let it go. And I find that like that kind of response, it does stick with me throughout the day. So I'm able to kind of let things like that go that happen, even when I'm not meditating. So like this has a long lasting, or has a period of time that lasts after you're done with the meditation. And then I also noticed that my driving wasn't as aggressive, and my speed was more level. So, it definitely was having an impact on really being present when I'm driving. And I'd like to say that I'm completely present when I'm driving on most occasions, but the reality is that that doesn't always happen for me. It becomes a time when my mind can race and I can do 1,000 other things at once. And so, I think that taking this time in the car is also a really good reminder on how to mindfully drive. With all of the things that can take our attention away from the actual act of driving, this is a really good reminder for me. So I hope that you were able to follow along and find ways to incorporate meditation into your day that work for you. Have a great day.